We are this morning commemorating the landing at Gallipoli pre-dawn Anzac Day service here in the Peace Memorial in Johnston's Park. This year marks 101 years of that landing at Anzac Cove. It is also the centenary of the Battle of Fromelles, Pozieres, Moet Farm and Guild Court, the start of many battles that this country endured on the Western Front. This year is also the centenary of the RSL, and in August it will be the 50th year of the Battle of Long Tan, a year of many milestones.
It was about this time of the day, on this day in 1915, that soldiers from Australia and New Zealand stormed the beaches of what later became known as Anzac Cove. 16,000 Anzac troops landed on the first day, and more than 2,000 became casualties. The campaign would last for 8 months and result in more than 400,000 killed and wounded among the Turkish and Allied forces. 26,000 of these casualties were Australian. It is only right that on Anzac Day we take pride in their efforts, reflect on their values, and most importantly, remember their sacrifice. They were all ordinary Australians, but they did extraordinary things. This year, like many others, is a significant anniversary of a past conflict. As well as you've heard, it's the 101st anniversary of the landing at Anzac Cove. It is, for example, the 25th anniversary of the end of the First Gulf War. And again, as you've heard, the 50th anniversary of the Battle of Long Tan in another conflict, the Vietnam War. The memorials that are backdrops to commemorations like this one across the nation remind us all of those who lie far from here, who call this city and this district home. But it also reminds us of those who returned and lived out their lives as hard-working Australians who married, built new families and modern Australia. For many of us, those who have come home from war are our parents and grandparents. These were great-hearted men and women who served Australia in peace as they had defended it in war. We are all their heirs and we are in their debt. Their legacy to us is our lifelong liberty, lest we forget.
It's a pleasure to represent Sarah Henderson today to deliver the message from the Prime Minister, the Honourable Malcolm Turnbull. On Anzac Day, we pause to remember all Australians who have served our nation in war and peace. Over more than a century, almost 1 million men and women have answered the call to defend our nation and our freedom. More than 100,000 have given their lives and many more have been wounded. We acknowledge the pain and suffering they endured, the sacrifice of their families and the lives of those who were lost. We pay tribute to those who long ago forged the Anzac tradition and to those who uphold it now. The best way to honour the servicemen and women of past conflicts is to support our current Australian Defence Force and our veterans, as well as their families. All of them serve with the same values of mateship and sacrifice as their Anzac forebearers of 1915. The courage and dedication of men and women prepared to risk their lives in the service of our liberty is an inspiration to us all. Shortly after World War I, Lieutenant General Sir John Monash said in a Christmas message to our returned troops, "You diggers have learnt during the war the value of comradeship, self-sacrifice, mutual trust between your leaders and yourselves, and how to labour in a common cause. These lessons you have purchased dearly. It is up to you and me never to forget these lessons. May we, in our turn, do all that we can to ensure their memory is always honoured, lest we forget."
Can you hear Australia's heroes marching? Can you hear them as they march into eternity? There will never be a greater love. There just couldn't be a greater sacrifice. There just couldn't be. Can you hear Australia's heroes marching? The ones who fought and gave their all. Can you hear Australia's heroes marching? Can you hear them as they march into eternity? There will never be a greater love. There just couldn't be a greater sacrifice. There just couldn't be. Can you hear Australia's heroes marching? They're marching once again across our great land. Can you hear Australia's heroes marching? Can you hear them as they march into eternity? There will never be a greater love. There just couldn't be a greater sacrifice. There just couldn't be.
Guard Commander.